Good news for the American researcher evacuated from the South Pole after suffering a stroke. Doctors are optimistic that she's going to make a full recovery and head home. Finally safe and presumably a whole lot warmer, Renee Nicole Douceur, the South Pole researcher who had to be rescued from Antarctica, addressed the media Friday, still in her work coveralls.
I'm going to say I wasn't scared at all. It's one of those things that, at least my personality is trying to stay cool and calm as much as in adversity. I never expected that I'd have adversity for myself.
It's been a harrowing 2 months for Douceur. In late August, she began to have difficulties with her speech, vision, and memory. Fearing she'd had a stroke, she asked her bosses at Raytheon Corporation to evacuate her, but her request was denied out of safety concerns. These South Pole pictures were shot in summer, but when Douceur had her stroke, it was winter, and flying in to rescue her was deemed too dangerous. She was finally evacuated to New Zealand on October 17th, and she's been at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore since Monday, where doctors confirmed the stroke and are pleased with the progress she's made in her recovery.
She's about 7 weeks out now, so she's kind of on par for this kind of stroke and the recovery that she's made.
If all goes as planned, Douceur should be released tomorrow. And joining us now from Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, is Renee Nicole Douceur and her physician, Dr. Paul Nyquist. Great to have both of you with us this morning.
Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Rebecca.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here, Renee. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling very well. I felt really comfortable once I've come here to Johns Hopkins, and I know I'm getting the best care possible.
How about your speech and your vision? I know there were some initial problems there. How are they performing now?
I still have my vision deficit, and they've been performing tests to nail it down exactly what areas where the deficit is and where I could concentrate for rehab. The speech, same thing. I do pretty well speaking. It's just that at times I tend to mix up words and make up some new words. But again, the therapy will help me resolve that.
Yeah, your speech is very clear this morning, Renee. Dr. Nyquist, when you look at the progress she's made, is that normal for somebody who's gone through the type of thing she has?
Yes, I think she's, excuse me, I think she's made some rapid progress, and we attribute that to the effort she made down at the pole to engage in rehab early and to motivate herself. With the self-motivation is the thing that usually speeds along recovery, and she's had a lot of that. So.
That is a good point. But at the same time, it took you a while, Renee, to get out of there for your company to green light you getting the medical attention that you're getting there at Johns Hopkins. Are you still frustrated by the fact that they made you wait and sit for a couple of months to get this?
I'm not quite sure frustration is the right word. I think I'm disillusioned that the company and the National Science Foundation had made some decisions very early on while I was still in the clinic with brain swelling that there wasn't going to be a special attempt to do an early evacuation, and that I was just going to wait until the first normal scheduled flights to start coming through.
Would you ever consider going back to work there?
I really did love the program, and I would consider going back. I'm not quite sure that with the stroke has basically disqualified me. Talking with Dr. Nyquist, the risk of probably having another stroke is higher for patients that have had a stroke. I think that I hopefully will never have another stroke, but realistically, trying to, even if there was an airplane there right at South Pole Station, it probably would take about 12 hours to get to Christchurch, New Zealand for proper diagnostic testing.
Dr. Nyquist, I just want to go back to you for a moment and ask you what the next couple of weeks, months of rehabilitation are going to be like for Renee.
Well, right now Renee is progressing from that inpatient stage to the outpatient stage, and most of her rehab will be done as an outpatient, and much of it can be done closer to home. So in the next week, we'll be finishing up some more testing. We'll set up a program for her to follow, and then we'll determine where she's going to go from here. I believe she can go back home to New Hampshire or Vermont, and then we'll make sure that she has try to set up the adequate resources to continue her rehab.
Well, Renee, we are so happy that this rehab is going so well for you. And Dr. Paul Nyquist, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it from both of you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Best wishes with the recovery.